G'day everyone, Paul from Small Crown Productions, and welcome to today's episode of 10 Questions with Paul Adams. Great to have you here. Thanks very much, happy to be here. Okay, 10 questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready to go. Let's crack it.
Great. Tell us 3 things about your childhood.
3 things I remember about my childhood. I remember, I had a dad in a wheelchair growing up. I grew up in sort of country-ish areas on the sort of outskirts and far outskirts of Brisbane. And I remember landing on a barbed wire fence on my stomach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dad in a wheelchair. Tell us about that.
Yeah, sure. Basically, my dad contracted polio when he was a kid. So he caught it and it started in his legs and spread right through his body to the point where he was paralysed from the neck down. Get vaccinated.
Yes.
But yeah, so he got treatment and they were able to get rid of it in most of his body except his legs. And so at the end of it, he didn't have the use of his legs except for being able to wiggle the toe on one foot. So a big toe on one foot.
Wow.
And so I, basically kind of watched him just kind of do what had to be done from a wheelchair pretty much my whole life.
Yeah, that's inspirational, really.
Yeah. I think I drive a lot of, I think I get a lot of my drive from having watched him just have to kind of push forward and get things done. So, I'm very solutions focused. I'm very much, let's just find a way and just push forward. And I attribute a lot of that to him.
Incredible. All right. Barbed wire fence.
Yeah. Basically, we used to live in a house at a place called Mount Mee, which is, sort of a little bit outside of Brisbane, and we're in this old house. I think it used to be the old schoolhouse. It's like a 100-year-old house, but right beside it there was a barbed wire fence and a lumber deposit. I don't know what it was. Basically just massive piles of lumber, just long planks and bits of wood and stuff. So I don't know who owned it, but it was there. It was always there.
Right.
And we used to play on it. So it's probably full of snakes and spiders and stuff, but. And I just remember one morning we were, out there early and in our dressing gowns and slippers, and we'd put a piece of the lumber up on the barbed wire fence, and we were walking up it and jumping off the other side. And my slippers slipped, and I landed belly first onto the barbed wire fence.
It's a bit scary.
Yeah. Yeah, I was stuck there balanced, so I was too scared. I think I tried to make sure that that's how I was because I was scared to kind of rip myself open.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and my brother and my sister, someone went in and got my mum, and she had to come out and actually physically lift me off. Yeah. Yeah, no, don't jump fences much these days.
Totally fair, yeah. Cool. What type of work do you usually produce now?
Yeah, so usually producing work now, I do a range of work, but in theatre, the work that we're focusing on is kids shows for kids in that sort of primary school, upper primary school age group. So I've done a lot of different work over the years, a lot of Shakespeare, a lot of period kind of texts and converting historic stories and mythology and stuff into scripts. But when I decided to relaunch the theatre arm of what we were doing, really decided that it was going to be a smart play to just focus on one particular type of work, just to build an audience and make it a little bit easier on the team to focus on getting kind of repeated results and making shows in a similar vein. It just becomes a bit of a flow thing. So we decided that we love making kids laugh, and that was a good thing to do. So we producing work for kids in that primary school age group that is just family friendly and appropriate for families to come to.
That's cool. Yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah, no, it is. I love making kids laugh. It's the purity and the honesty of a really good laugh from a kid is just it's the best thing. So it's fun.
Okay, favorite color?
Blue.
Nice, easy. Do you have any performance idol growing up?
Yeah. Look, I would have to say Michael J. Fox. To be honest, I saw
great.
Back to the Future as a kid. Loved it. My favorite film.
Yeah, great
film.
film.
I just think he's great. And now, of course, what he's doing with his, being affected by Parkinson, I think he's doing amazing things off screen as well. Yeah. So, yeah, amazing guy.
Cool. So, what got you into what you're doing now?
I don't really know. I grew up with my dad actually, despite being in a wheelchair, doing small theatre, like community theatre. So back in those days, he would get issued calipers, which are kind of leg irons. So essentially you slip your leg inside them. It's like a metal frame for your leg, similar to those sort of ones that you see supporting people with broken limbs now. But they allowed him the support, so they'd strap on around the waist, and essentially that would take his weight, and the leg irons would let him walk with crutches. And so, we've got photos, and I remember watching him up on stage as a kid. He was up on stage. Well, I was watching him up on stage do theatre with crutches. Just amazing to see. And
that's incredible.
That obviously infused itself in my thinking, but I never really thought about pursuing it. But then in grade 6, we did a play reading in class, and the class was broken up into groups, and I got voted best actor out of all of the plays that were read.
Ah, cool.
And that kind of shocked me and made me kind of go, well, that was kind of cool. And then the following year in grade 7, I was encouraged to try out for the school show, the annual performance that the school put on. So I did that and really enjoyed that. And then, moved into high school and went, that's what I'm going to do.
Brilliant.
Just decided at a pretty youngish sort of age that was what I wanted. It was just so much fun, and I still love it. So, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So you kind of was just kind of in you the whole time, really, I guess.
I agree. Yeah, totally. It's sometimes you just kind of you just fall into something. So but I love it. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Favorite food?
Ice cream.
Flavor?
Any flavor, really. Pretty much any flavor.
So workshops, tell us about those.
Yeah, so we're running some workshops on the Saturday and the Sunday. So we've got 2 sessions each day, and the sessions are split into 2 age groups. So the workshops are all about physical character. So building a physical character. We're looking at 6 different stereotypes across the 2 workshops. So there's 9 to 12s and 13 to 17. I had to think for a second then. So there's one for each age group each day. And so in each day, we're looking at 3 different types of physical stereotype characters that you can take away. And we're going to look at what are the physical structures that make that character what it is. And the plan is that kids all have those ideas that they can then go away and mix and match and play with those to make their own characters. So if they've got to perform a character, they've got this little pool of tools that they can use to kind of build their own character from.
Great. And so age groups?
So 2 groups, 9 to 12 and 13 to 17. So the sort of pitched at those 2 different age groups.
Awesome. And it sort of covers who it's going to appeal to. Yeah. So how can people find you?
So we've got Facebook, Instagram, and website. So website smallcrownproductions.com.au. However, it's probably easier to go to theatreforkids.com.au if you're interested in the theatre stuff that we're doing. Small Crown Productions, the website kind of covers all of the different types of work I do. So I've got the domain Theatre for Kids, and that's the number 4 or the word FOR. theatreforkids.com.au, and you can go to that and it will direct you to our theatre page for the kids stuff. And Instagram and Facebook are both just at Small Crown Productions.
Brilliant. All right. Well, thanks very much.
And, great. Thanks very much.
See you at the
I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.